think about how to write a TED Talk script even before you apply for a TED event. When people think that they are ready to give a TED Talk, especially experienced speakers who presented many times, they are actually ready to give a motivational talk, but not a TED Talk. And here's what I mean by that. TED Talks are also motivational and they inspire people. But the key point there is the big idea that you share and how it's useful, practical, important, or interesting to know for the audience. Many regular speeches are formatted in a way to inspire from the position, I've been there, I've done that, and you can do it too, which may miss the key idea that is crucial for a good TED Talk. That's why when you write a TED Talk script, you can organize your thoughts and ideas in a structured manner. It helps you clarify the main points you want to convey, ensuring a coherent flow of information. So before you apply for a TED event, write a TED Talk draft. Just get all your ideas down to the paper. Don't make it perfect. Do just a brain dump or everything you want to share, and then read what you wrote all together and ask yourself, what is a big idea that you want people to remember? What is it all about? By putting your ideas on paper, you can refine and polish them, making them more accessible to the audience. So this is the first step of how to write a TED Talk script. Define the key idea that you want to share. You more likely will rewrite it later and make it more clear, but you need to start with something. And here's what most people do when they think about a big idea. They pick a general and way too wide idea like become a better leader, do this, let's say their strategy, and you can achieve anything in life. They say, I want people to be happy, and so on. When you write a TED Talk script, be more specific. Be more thoughtful about what your audience needs. If your talk is about leadership, business, or the corporate world, watch Simon Sinek's TED Talk, How Great Leaders Inspire Action. And pay attention how he constantly brings people's focus on his key idea. People don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. For example, Simon Sinek talks about leadership, but his message is narrowed to how leaders, especially in organizations, can motivate people to take action. A key to that is paying attention to why you do what you do, or if you talk to your employees, explain to them why they do what they do. Why should anyone care? The reasons, the beliefs, and so on. If you write a TED Talk script about personal development, or you're, let's say, a life coach, then a good TED Talk to watch is Brene Brown's talk, The Power of Vulnerability. When you watch it, pay attention to how she uncovers her idea. If you want to feel connected, be vulnerable. She doesn't have such clear statement that Simon Sinek has in his TED Talk. People don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. But she little by little uncovers her idea to bring to the main point that when people get vulnerable, then the real connection happens and they feel more connected with others. When you just start thinking about how to write a TED Talk, you more likely won't have such a clear idea yet. But try to find something more narrow to start with. So instead of something, let's say, how to succeed in life and have it all, you may talk about how to have a better relationship with a partner, or navigating a difficult work environment, or the challenges that women of color have at work, or why money doesn't make you happy. I'm just improvising with the ideas, but they are already more specific than just talking about successful life, and they will resonate with a group of people particularly interested in your topic, which means that in the end, you may have a more targeted audience for your talk. Once you have this more clear main idea that you want to present, also pick who is the main audience that you want to reach out to. Yes, more likely your idea can be helpful for many people or even everyone. However, think about it this way. Choosing the main audience will help you find better examples, stories, and even specific words to explain your idea to really capture people's attention. For example, when you write a TED Talk script related to leadership, it can be addressed to CEOs of the companies, to managers, to small business owners, or freelancers who manage their teams, etc. And each of these groups may have different challenges that you can touch on. A CEO of a company with 5,000 people may have different leadership difficulties than a small business owner with only 3 employees. At the same time, if you want to talk about challenges with the personal relationships that leaders have, then a CEO of a big company and a small business owner may have similar struggles with the relationships because of working longer hours than the employees with 9-to-5 jobs. It's just an example. Maybe you will show similarities between all of them, but when you write a TED Talk, knowing to whom you address your message will help you speak directly to that audience and make them feel that you understand them, so they will actually apply what you share. And don't get confused with the audience at the event itself and those who will watch it online. The audience at the event may have all kinds of people. Deliver your TED Talk to people who you would like to reach and who you would like to work with in the future. Because your TED Talk will support your personal brand primarily after it gets published. And then when you decide what key concept you want to share and what audience you want to address, start planning the content of your speech. Resonate with people from the very beginning. And think about it in 2 parts. When you write a TED Talk, the beginning of the speech is where you connect with people where they are. And the end of your TED Talk leads to the aha moment. It's where you inspire them to take action or rethink something in life or just live with the curiosity to learn more about what you've shared. So the beginning is when people have no idea what you're talking about. They have their mindset, their challenges, and their desires. In other words, ask yourself where people are before they listen to what you have to share. Then craft your beginning the way you will resonate with people. So in the middle of the TED Talk, you will help people to see that more, realize that they need a change, and see why they need your idea. Capturing the audience's attention from the very beginning is crucial for a successful performance. When you write a TED Talk, craft a captivating opening line that intrigues and hooks the audience. This can be achieved through a thought-provoking question, a surprising statistic, a relevant story, or a bold statement. Starting your talk with impact sets the tone, establishes engagement, and sparks the audience curiosity. The next step in how to write a TED Talk is uncovering your idea in the middle of your talk. You can mention your big idea anywhere in your speech, in the beginning, the middle, or the end. Just when you write a TED Talk, share more about your idea, why it's important, how people's life can be different, why they need to take action. It's especially essential if you share any of your systems or models, as people are more likely not familiar with it. For now, only you as a speaker know how great it is, but your task is to make your system understandable to people so they would use it too. Bring more facts, statistics, studies, and stories. Show empathy and relate to the audience on an emotional level. This can be achieved by sharing relatable stories, expressing common challenges, or highlighting shared experiences. Don't bring only your experience, but from other people too. Connecting with the audience fosters a sense of trust, creates an open atmosphere, and enhances their openness to your message. When you write a TED Talk, clearly articulate the central idea or main message that you want to convey. This serves as the guiding principle for your entire presentation, providing a clear direction and focus. Structure your content around a compelling narrative that takes the audience on a journey. It's like you're taking them from point A, where they are, to point B, where you'd like them to be if they apply your message. An interesting example of taking people on such journey and uncovering the idea is a TED Talk by Lori Gottlieb, How Changing Your Story Can Change Your Life. The title is eye-catching, although the changing your life part seems a bit too general. The changing your story, this part, makes it different. It tells you the way you can change your life. Anyway, it does its work, which is to make people curious about the topic enough to click and watch or listen to a TED Talk. And then she starts her talk about an email that she saw in her inbox with a woman's story. The story from the email right away touches important parts of life that many people can relate to. Difficulties with relationships, kids, sex, marriage, divorce, etc. So this is where people are, what they have challenges with, and what they can easily relate to. Some people can even feel the struggles of that woman from the email story. Then, in her TED Talk, Lori starts expanding more on the idea of the stories and gets to the point where she says, and what I've noticed is that most people's stories tend to circle around two key themes. The first is freedom, and the second is change. So she keeps people's attention on this idea that we all have stories and we are the ones who create them. Although she mentioned that she's a therapist, most of her talk is focused on unleashing her main idea of how stories affect our lives, not on herself. She brings some more stories and examples so people would better understand it. The next thing, when you write your TED Talk script, show why a change that you suggest is important, how your idea will benefit the listeners. It might seem obvious. Don't you want your life to be changed? I, as a speaker, just give you all the tools, and they are proven to be working for many people and me as well, so just use them. But in reality, if you only give people a tool, even if it's working without a big reason for them, people more likely won't use it. It's like in Simon Sinek's TED Talk that I mentioned before. Start with why if you want to inspire people to take action. His speech is full of such whys. So state your central idea concisely and with conviction, ensuring that the audience understands the core theme of your talk. Develop the main body of your talk by sharing insights, experiences, and research that support your central idea and explain more of why your idea is life-changing, why people need to apply it. That's why it's so useful to write a TED Talk speech, because it allows you to create a logical progression of ideas with a clear introduction, main body, and conclusion. When you write down your TEDx talk, you have the opportunity to choose the most effective and impactful words to convey your message. The next tip on how to write a TED Talk script is that you can organize your main points using the rule of 3, where it's appropriate. Our brains love patterns, and the rule of 3 is a powerful pattern to leverage in your TED Talk. So when you write a TED Talk, organize your main points using groups of 3. 3 is a magic number because it's easy to remember, creates a sense of completeness, and provides a logical flow to your content. Select 3 concepts, examples, or steps that support your central idea. Studies have shown that information presented in 3s is more easily processed and remembered by the audience. You can even organize your whole TED Talk using the rule of 3. Pick your idea and express it in 3 parts. A good example of such speech structure is a TED Talk given by Adam Grant, The Surprising Habits of Original Thinkers. In his talk, Adam brings up the idea of originals, folks who act and think differently than majority of people. He starts with it, and then he says, I want to show you today 3 things I've learned about recognizing originals and becoming a little bit more like them. And he covers 3 key points about originals, showing what they do, how they act, and how ordinary people can be like them. So in those 3 key points of his TED Talk, he first uncovers his big idea, the concept of originals, then he shows how they think differently, so he kind of compares ordinary people and originals, demonstrating the benefits of thinking like originals, like, here is why you need to apply my idea, here is what you may get if you apply the skills of originals, and in the end, He summarizes his talk that originals are not that different from the rest of us and gives some more simple tips of even a kind of encouragement on how people can apply what he has shared. That's it. When you write a TED Talk, you can do the same thing. Talk about your big idea in 3 key points. Or you can just implement this rule of 3 just in some parts of your talk, or to emphasize some steps or procedures. And then, towards the end of your TED Talk, summarize the key takeaways and main points covered in your presentation. Like Adam Grant, you can give some simple encouragement on how people may apply your knowledge, or leave them with a thought-provoking question or idea. The end of a TED Talk is kind of an action part. Remind people what was all your speech about. You can repeat your big idea. You can mention the key elements that you covered, and then for closing, think about what you want to leave people with. A small step that they can take right away, and you believe that they can test in life, a concept that they will keep thinking about when they will come back home. You can apply a rule of 3 here as well and present 3 quick action steps as your methodology. The end of your speech is what leaves a lasting impression after you give a TED Talk. The closing statement should inspire, motivate, and leave the audience with a sense of empowerment. So here's how to write a TED Talk speech. By mastering the art of crafting a TED Talk, you as a speaker can create an immersive and transformative experience. Remember to start with a captivating opening, develop a compelling narrative, and end with a powerful conclusion. By incorporating these expert techniques and strategies, you will deliver a TEDx talk that inspires, influences, and sparks positive change in the world. If you plan to give a TEDx talk, then I have a guide on how to become a TEDx speaker that explains the process step by step. You can download it for free. I'll put the link in the description below. And to learn more about how to become a TED speaker, watch this video next.